Good evening, sessionistas and photogs, and welcome to Photogs Life. My name is Calumberan, and I am the chief photographer and founder of Calumberan FZE. Please follow my website, chriscalumberan.com, and my Instagram, instagram.com/chriscalumberan. You can also follow us on Facebook, facebook.com/photogslife, and also in YouTube, youtube.com/photogslife. Awesome. We are now on number 5 episode of our blog series, which is Shoot to Live, Live to Shoot. So our 5th topic would be, what is your favorite lens? Yes, in this vlog, you will get to know what is my favorite lens, what will be my workhorse lens. Also, remember that your favorite lens will determine what kind of photographer you are, what type of photographer you are, because there are 3 popular types of genres in photography. Those 3 types of genres are, number 1, portrait, very popular genre of photography. Most of the people I know starts in portrait photography. Number 2, general or events photography. It's most of the time events photography also is also the stepping stone of photographers that I know. Events photography, when they covering events such as wedding, birthdays, things like this. And number 3, landscape photography, interiors, exteriors, architecture, name it, landscape photography. So these 3 types of genres helps you determine what type of lens you would like, or what type of lens you would want to buy first, or would be your favorite lens. So let's start from number 1. Number 1 is the portrait photographer's lens. My favorite telephoto lens is the 7200 IS from Canon. It's the legendary 7200. It is available in any other brand, which is Nikon, Canon, Sigma. It is a very popular range. This is the 2nd generation. I love it. It has a stabilizer. Yeah. So for those people who has not used a telephoto lens, using the longest range, usually your camera will shake because it needs stabilizing. And also this thing here goes to the tripod so that it will be on the center of the gravity, so it will reduce the shake. So whenever I use this, I can use this handheld, but in a daylight situation, or if I'm shooting with flash, but in low light situation, I usually try to manage it with tripod just in case, even if it's during events. If I can during events, I will shoot this on a tripod. But saying what type of photography this lens belong usually is portraits, because telephoto lenses usually they are more flattering to the face of a subject. So this is what usually we use. 70 above is considered as telephoto. So whenever you have a lens that is longer range, this is more ideal to shoot portraits, and basically those when you need telephoto capabilities. If you're shooting wildlife, perhaps you also need a longer telephoto lens. But the most popular use of telephoto lens, especially the mid-range, is portraits. Awesome. So number 2, the general and basic, general, shall I say, and events photographers favorite lens. This is the 2470. I love this lens. This is my favorite lens of all. The 2470 2.8. It doesn't have a stabilizer, but is also very solid built. This is the Series 2. The first time I hold the Series 1, I fell in love with it. I still have it with me, although the autofocus switch is busted. I kept it, the Series 1 and the Series 2. Very sharp. Very sharp on f8, shall I say. Even if I use a macro lens when shooting with products, I find this more sharper. This is based on experience, because when I was assisting my boss, he uses a macro 100 macro, and he still ends up using this one because of the sharpness and reliability of this baby. So when you are shooting products, when you are shooting tabletop, I will lock it on 70. I will definitely lock it on 70, or I will lock it on the wide lens, which is the 24. If I'm shooting like downwards, I will definitely lock it on 70, because sometimes the gravity pulls it. But I don't know, this is just based on experience and based on observation that I have when we were shooting food, because we were shooting on 50, and we find it, double checking the images, that is not sharp. So it's better to lock it on the edge, which is the 70, so that the mechanism will not adjust on gravity wise. So I love this lens. This is my favorite lens. Number 3, the third favorite lens that I have, you call it the Trinity lens. Actually, this combination is a Trinity lens. So every professional photographer should have the Trinity lens. This is what I believe in. So this lens pretty much is as old as my Series 1 2470. It's the 1740. This is a 4.0 L lens. The 2.8 counterpart is a 1635. Although I have to admit, I'm happy with this. I have not used the 1635. I have to be honest. I have not used the 1635 really often, because first, I don't own one, but my friends and my suppliers has one. I didn't had a chance to use it. I used it only once or twice in an assignment. I know it is quick, it is fast, especially the Series 2. But this one, since I am a commercial photographer and I shoot interiors, I never shoot 2.8 on an interior. I only shoot 8 above. So 16, I shoot on 22. I only shoot on 8 above, f8 above. So there's no use for me to have a wide 2.8, only if it's needed during an event. But when I use this in events, or if I'm using a wide on events, I will really stay with my 2470. 24 mm for me is wide enough. I only remove this from my bag if during events I need to shoot an interior. Obviously the ISO helps anyways. The tripod really helps anyways. So I don't really see, I'm not a hardcore events person that shoots on handheld anyways. I'm not a journalist. So most of the journalist friends, photographers that I know, they do have the 1635. But this is half the price of a 1635. It's still an L lens. It's still sharp. It does still performs well for me. And this is the oldest lens that I have in my bag. These two, the 70-200 and the 2470, they're quite new when I purchased my Mark III. I still haven't purchased my Mark IV, believe it or not, but I mean, I use my equipment as long as possible. Anyway, until the last breath. Anyway, guys, so that's it. Thank you for listening. Thank you for joining me. And if you may have questions, please let me know also what kind of lens is your favorite. What is the favorite lens that you have, your first lens, and the lens that you are using, that you are learning from. I would like to hear from you, and please comment it in the box below, and I will wait for your comments, and I will answer all your questions if you may have. So there you go. Thank you for tuning in. This is Photog's Life. This is Chris Calumberan. Good night and enjoy the rest of the week. Cheers.